Arthur slammed down the divorce papers, forcing Jet to leave with nothing and mocking her humble origins. Jet refused to sign. She presented confidential documents and revealed that she was the mysterious investor who had saved the Vanderbilt Group years ago. The shocking reversal completely shattered the panicked Arthur. Inside their Manhattan penthouse, the dazzling night view of Central Park did nothing to warm the icy air. Arthur Vanderbilt returned home, reeking of Serena jasmine perfume, and before he even showered, he slammed a stack of divorce papers down on the marble dining table. "Sign this, Jet." His voice was cold and weary. "There's a board meeting at 8 tomorrow morning. Don't make a scene." Jet stood motionless, her chest heaving slightly. That scent cut into her heart like a dull blade. 3 years of marriage had ended like this. She flipped through the papers, her gaze finally locking on page 4, complete waiver of marital assets. The glaring mark meant she would leave with absolutely nothing. $5 million. Arthur spoke arrogantly, as if granting charity, severance, and hush money. "Keep this out of the media. You know exactly how the Vanderbilt deal with leeches." "Leeches." Jet let out a dry, bitter laugh, fury igniting instantly. She picked up the pen, her fingertips ice cold. "Pictures of you holding Serena at the Wall Street Gala last night are already trending." Her voice was terrifyingly calm. Arthur's face flushed red. He no longer bothered to hide his cruelty. "Serena is moving in next week. We need an heir of pure blood, not some woman picked up from the suburbs who was only ever here to fix our PR crisis." Jet clenched the pen tightly until her knuckles whitened, then slammed it down on the table. "I'm not signing." She pushed the papers back toward him. "I'll divorce you, but I want 4% original equity in the Vanderbilt Group." Dead silence filled the room. 3 seconds later, Arthur burst into mocking laughter. "Your equity? When we married, all you had was a rented Honda and cheap suits. You own nothing." Jet remained expressionless. She slowly pulled a confidential watermarked document from her handbag and slid it toward him. "Look at the holding signature at the bottom." Arthur grabbed the document dismissively. The second his eyes landed on the bottom, his smile froze completely. All color drained from his face, leaving him deathly pale. The words "Dark Web Ventures" on the document loomed like a ghost, choking him speechlessly. "What is this?" His voice trembled with terror. 3 years ago, your grandfather faced a short-selling crisis that nearly destroyed the entire group. It was a mysterious offshore fund that injected capital and saved it. Jet's voice was low and lethal. "Did you really think that money just fell from the sky?" The truth struck Arthur like a thunderbolt. He couldn't believe the wife he had toyed with for 3 years was actually a top Wall Street predator and the family's savior. "You forged these documents. This is blackmail," he screamed hysterically. "Get ready for a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit." Ignoring his roar, Jet walked to the walk-in closet, retrieved an encrypted hard drive from her private safe, and tossed it into her black Birkin bag. When she returned to the living room, Arthur charged at her wildly. Without hesitation, Jet swung her Birkin bag, its metal hardware slamming hard into his arm. Arthur yelped in pain and stepped back, intimidated by Jet's icy glare. Jet turned, pushed open the door, and stepped into her private elevator. As the door slowly closed, they blocked Arthur's twisted face from view. She pulled out her matte black, encrypted phone, her thumb hovering over the screen, her eyes filled with unshakable resolve. The heroine appears to flee the mansion in defeat, yet she actually holds every single piece of the game in her hands. Her husband flies into a violent rage, while his mistress secretly strikes deadly blows by spreading rumors and shorting stocks. Meanwhile, Jet sits quietly inside the top-tier Maybach, watching them step straight into the fatal trap she has laid out, step by step. The elevator doors glide open, and the damp, frigid Manhattan night washes over her. Drizzling rain falls outside the garage, the wet pavement glistering black like a mirror. Only 5 steps after Jet steps out, a fully armored black Maybach silently glides up from the shadows and stops, precisely 2 meters in front of her. The tall bodyguard got out of the car at once, held up a black umbrella to shield her from the drizzle, and respectfully opened the door for her. Jet sinks into the warm, soft backseat, a stark, glaring contrast to the icy coldness in her heart. She places her black Birkin bag beside her, opens the hidden biometric safe under the armrest, scans her fingerprint, and securely stores the confidential offshore trust documents inside. The heavy mechanical lock clicks shut tightly. She then unlocks her encrypted phone, where streams of green data scroll rapidly across the screen. At this very moment, she is monitoring real-time fluctuations of all Arthur's personal assets live. On Fifth Avenue, on the other side of the city, the atmosphere has turned utterly twisted. Arthur furiously kicks open the door to Serena's luxury apartment, his tie torn messily, his chest heaving violently. He rushes to the bar, pours a large glass of whiskey, and downs it in one gulp. Serena walks out slowly in a silk nightgown, gently embraces him from behind, and softly asks whether Jet has signed the papers. When she learns that Jet refused to leave empty-handed, demanded 4% original equity, and presented the offshore trust documents, Serena's arms around him stiffen instantly. Jealousy and schemes surge to the surface, putting on an innocent, worried expression. She keeps stoking his anger. How could someone from Jet's humble background possibly own an offshore trust? She must have embezzled family funds for years and been conducting illegal money laundering in secret. Arrogant and conceited Arthur is completely brainwashed in an instant. He convinces himself that Jet is stealing Vanderbilt family assets and grits his teeth, vowing to instruct his lawyers, first thing tomorrow morning, to freeze all of Jet's accounts completely and crush her once and for all. After a fake affectionate kiss, Serena turns and walks into her soundproof walk-in closet. She passes rows of haute couture gowns, opens the hidden biometric vault door in the wall, and enters a fully sealed private chamber. All trace of gentleness and sweetness vanishes from her face, replaced only by vicious malice. She takes out her phone and calls her Wall Street fund manager, fabricating vicious lies on the spot. Jet visited Eastern Europe before marriage, secretly set up shell accounts for money laundering, and the Vanderbilt family is about to disown her completely. The greedy fund manager flies into a frenzy instantly. He decides to short Vanderbilt stocks at market opening immediately and spread this rumor across all of Wall Street by dawn. Serena stares at her reflection in the mirror and smirks triumphantly, believing she has set an inescapable net, but she has no idea at all. Inside the smoothly moving Maybach, on the rainy highway, a high-risk warning suddenly pops up on Jet's tablet. The private internal Wall Street forum has erupted with vicious rumors accusing Jet of money laundering in collusion with Eastern European criminal syndicates. From the tone and wording alone, Jet recognizes instantly that this is Serena's doing. The bodyguard turns around, nervously asking if she should strike back immediately. Jet lets out a cold, icy laugh instead. No need. These cheap, malicious rumors are exactly the perfect leverage. She needs to trigger a short squeeze and destroy them completely. She immediately opens her encrypted messaging app, finds the contact marked The Lord, and sends only one short message, initiate Plan B. 3 seconds later, the message is marked red. The next second, a black knight chess peace emoji pops up on the screen. The game of revenge has officially begun. Jet refused Harrison's proposal to join forces and bring down her husband's family. Harrison suppressed the slanderous rumors on her behalf and recommended a top-tier lawyer to her. Yet the moment she left the club, she received a legal summons from her husband's family, who were attempting to freeze all her assets. Her long-planned revenge officially began. The bitter morning wind cut through Manhattan. Dressed in a sharp black suit, Jet stepped calmly out of the car and onto the stone steps of a private cigar club. Unmarked and exclusive, it was accessible only through heavy brass door, forbidden ground even to high society. She walked to the front desk and silently placed a premium black metal card on the counter. After one glance, the manager bowed respectfully and said, "This way, madam. He is waiting for you in the VIP lounge." She walked through the dim corridor. As the oak door opened, scents of Cuban cigars and aged leather washed over her. Lord Harrison, the Wall Street tycoon, sat in a high-backed leather armchair by the fireplace, holding a glass of whiskey. Without pleasantries, Jet sat down directly and slammed a stack of Vanderbilt Group financial reports onto the coffee table. Harrison flipped through the documents, and upon seeing the fatal funding loopholes marked inside, his eyes filled with admiration. "I am officially withdrawing from the Vanderbilt Group." Jet's tone was calm, yet resolute in every word. Harrison closed the file, his smile fading completely. He knew this statement would send shockwaves across Wall Street. "Why now, of all times?" He leaned forward and asked in a low voice. "Arthur's betrayal and his stupidity," Jet replied coldly. Harrison's face turned livid. He slammed his silver cane against the floor. "He's an idiot." He immediately offered to mobilize his entire investment consortium to ally with Jet and bring down the Vanderbilt family, but Jet politely declined. Her top priority at the moment was to win her multi-billion-dollar divorce lawsuit and reclaim her rightful equity. Harrison had already seen the rumors slandering Jet for money laundering with Eastern European criminal gangs. Before she could speak, he made a call and ordered sharply, "Inform all editors-in-chief of the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. Anyone who publishes a single defamatory lie about Jet will have all my fund advertisements withdrawn immediately." After hanging up, he told Jet that all mainstream media had been completely silenced. Jet nodded in thanks and promised him priority investment rights for her upcoming projects. Harrison then earnestly proposed that his grandson, who would return to take charge of the European branch next month, form an alliance of strong partners with her not transactional marriage. Jet firmly refused. At this moment, she was used to fighting alone. Harrison did not press further. He handed her a matte black card bearing no name, only an encrypted number. "You are going to war with the Vanderbilts. You need the most ruthless litigation king. He has never lost a case, but he is extremely dangerous." Jet took the card, stood up, and said, "I'm going to see him now." After Jet left, Harrison immediately instructed his assistant deploy private investigators, dig up every single one of Arthur's dirty secrets by midnight. Meanwhile, Jet stepped outside the club. The cold wind stung her cheeks. As she walked toward her Maybach, a man stepped out of the shadow of a street lamp and handed her a legal envelope. "Miss Whitfield, you are formally served with a summons." Jet opened the envelope. Inside was a summons from the Vanderbilt family. They had lost their minds and were ready to freeze all her assets. She tightened her grip on the letter, her eyes turning ice cold. Once inside the car, she fully understood her husband's family had cornered themselves into declaring all-out war, and her long-planned revenge was only just beginning.